Uh, Bit of a shorter video today. I have a longer one coming out. It's gonna be 9 minutes. It's taking a real long time to edit, and some current stuff, especially local stuff, that I just want to focus on first. So yeah, hi. A little less edited, a little less scripted. I just kind of have some stuff in front of me, and I'm gonna talk about it. So yeah, about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, starting from like tomorrow, I think, we saw the Illinois Democratic primaries for Congress and Senate. You had Juliana Stratton win against Raj Krishnamurthy, and then a bunch of candidates all over the political spectrum win in a bunch of different races all across Illinois. And there was sort of a very strong theme, especially like online, of like this anti-corruption attitude and sentiment. And Illinois was kind of like the first large place that kind of, and especially like solid blue place where you could kind of test that, where it was the like kind of more moderate, like corporate PAC funded Democrats versus the more like center left, anti-corruption, anti-corporate PAC people. So, I mean, first you had Juliana Stratton, who NBC reported is having around 40% of the vote, and she said she would not take a single dime of corporate PAC money, or any corporate money, she said, I think is the direct quote. Like, he raised $3 million, and $100,000 that is from corporate PACs, according to the Integrity Index. He took a lot of corporate money, and usually in elections past, you'd see that kind of benefiting him, but not as much now, because this is kind of a very large pushback against the post-Citizens United that we're seeing in the United States. And again, one that you probably might have heard of is Kat Abughazaleh in Illinois. She was very anti-corporate PAC. She was in was predominantly considered a three-way race between herself, Daniel Biss, and then, oh my God, what was her name? The third one, whose name I will very nicely put right here in picture right here. But Biss won that election. He also did not take any AIPAC money, which again, super interesting, because AIPAC funded a lot of money into that race, and it was a three-way race. It was widely seen that Biss and Abughazaleh the vote would split, and then the corporate PAC candidate, whose name I am totally forgetting, would win. But again, this was pretty good news for anti-corruption Democrats across the state. However, AIPAC gave money to two other candidates, and both won. They're Donna Miller and Melissa Bean. And yeah, I looked through both their campaign websites. Melissa Bean got money from pro-AI and pro-crypto PACs, and it looks like her policy is being shaped by that, being shaped by those by those corporate interests. Duh. And so she said, quote, artificial intelligence is a powerful tool that can drive economic growth, optimize healthcare and education tools, and strengthen American competitiveness. And on crypto, she said that blockchain and digital assets offer an opportunity to modernize financial systems, expand access, and keep the United States at the forefront of financial innovation. Again, she also took money from AIPAC, nothing explicitly about Israel that I could find on her campaign issues website. Yeah, I mean, she kind of kept that one a little bit more secret than the other two, which, again, also super interesting. Again, AIPAC funneled money through other PACs to kind of give money to these candidates, and then, like, boasted on Twitter about how pro-Israel policy wins, despite the fact that they funneled it through different corporate PACs that had nothing to do with Israel. Like, one was called Elect Chicago Women, and there's a second one, whose name I'm also forgetting, which I'm going to throw up on screen. And again, yeah, same thing with Donna Miller, like, also very explicit, like, pro-AI and, like, pro-crypto stuff. And, like, again, both on their websites. I think, again, it kind of shows the influence of money in politics, and especially, like, there is a little bit of a anti-corruption mood in the United States right now, and Illinois kind of proved this. So, local level, kind of zooming in a little bit. What does this mean for St. Louis? Again, as some of you may or may not know, St. Louis elected a candidate in the primary 2 years ago. His name was Wesley Bell. He took a grand total of $8.5 million from AIPAC, again, after his opponent, Cori Bush, who was part of the squad. She was a super progressive member of Congress, got primaried by Wesley Bell, essentially for her pro-Israel stance, despite I know if you live in the St. Louis area, you probably saw ads in 2024 being like, Cori Bush voted against the infrastructure package that Biden wanted. And there was a lot of negative ads against her, which ultimately won Bell the election. It was I think 54 to 49 or something. And then, yeah, she was very left on a lot of issues, and she's running again. And again, kind of trying to ride that wave of progressivism and anti-corruption. So what does that mean for her campaign? Is anti-corruption going to come to St. Louis? Maybe, I think. We have about 4 state primaries to go off of right now. The Missouri primary is not in March. State primaries. I'm Googling this. August 4th. Haha. So we have 4 months to go, about. And I think, in my very unprofessional opinion, that I feel like there's too few data points to go off right now to like suggest a like larger trend towards anti-corporate PACness. And again, we've kind of seen mixed results in Illinois, but the results we have seen, especially like if candidates are able to like properly communicate that like their opponents are being bought out by like corporate PACs, like APAC, AI PACs, like all this stuff, it's like it could move the needle a little bit one way or the other. Because again, especially in like metropolitan St. Louis, the mood is incredibly progressive and anti-federal government, anti-ICE, and all of these things, and like all of these issues that like Cory Bush is kind of centered her campaign around, and kind of this idea of like change and change specific to St. Louis, which I think Bell hasn't really capitalized on a lot. So again, it remains to be seen, especially endorsements are 50-50. I know recently Planned Parenthood endorsed Wesley Bell, while Democratic Socialists of Missouri endorsed Cory Bush, well, with a lot of progressive organizations, and APAC, ironic, like supported Wesley Bell like head on, and he was actually on a video for APAC on their social media page talking about Israel. And again, bar your opinions on Israel, I think the sentiment right now that we're kind of seeing is sort of a trend towards less corporate and super PAC influence on politics. And I think Wesley Bell has kind of intrinsically tied himself to a super PAC, APAC, and I think that's going to hurt his election chances. It remains to be seen whether that'll hurt him enough to actually lose the primary. But again, we're seeing around the country a lot of momentum go against these kinds of people. And I think that's something that remains to be seen. And I think we'll see in August, especially, and it'll be a fun primary race. So yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.